Hey, what's up guys? If you are seeing this video, that means I finally finished my desktop rig. It took me about 45 hours to build a desktop just to get it to post, which is absolutely insane. And I've built over 5 desktops before, so I'm pretty familiar apparently with how to build desktops, but for some reason, every time I do my own PC rig, there's always something that gets me and I'm spending additional time trying to figure it out. So like I said, and I'll do a little recap of how it took 4 to 5 hours, and hopefully you can understand where I'm coming from. So I actually built the computer. I started building it last week, and I couldn't get it to post. So post essentially means to get your computer to load into the BIOS, and then once you have it posting, then you can load in your operating system. So like maybe Windows 10 or Linux or whatever software you use to run your operating system. So I couldn't get it to post. So, first thing that you do typically when you're trying to verify what's wrong is make sure all your wires are plugged into your motherboard and you have power to all your components. So I did that. Everything looked fine. Still didn't post. So the first thing that I thought of after doing all these tests that I could do was that, oh, the motherboard must be bad. And that's probably the most unfortunate thing to be bad, because I actually didn't do a test bench test like on the actual motherboard case. So I had everything seated in my desktop already with all the screws in. So it was going to take a very long time to take everything out, separate it, and then get another motherboard. So I did that. I got another motherboard, put it back in, a new motherboard, put it back in, and it still didn't post. And I was like, whoa, why is this actually happening? So I started to think, okay, well, it can't be the motherboard again, because that just seems too rare. So then I was like, well, let's see. I noticed there was actually an LED ring on my desktop that wasn't lighting. So I looked at my lighting connections, and everything looked correct. And so I was like, well, maybe my processor is not getting power. Like maybe my power supply unit is failing, and that's causing it to not actually boot up all the way. So then I ordered another power supply unit, which gives you power to your entire computer. So I ordered a new one, put it in, and the LED light ring that I saw that didn't boot now actually turns on. So I was like, okay, cool. I got that to work. So then I spent probably another 10 hours looking at all the components again, trying to figure out what was wrong. Still couldn't get it to post. So I swapped out the processor on there, and I was like, it must be the processor, maybe it's dead. So I got another processor. Still didn't work. I was like, wow. And then if you probably saw in this video, I have another computer in the room, and I basically took the graphics card and used it in mine. And again, still didn't post. So I essentially swapped out the motherboard 3 times total. I swapped out a new processor twice. I swapped out the graphics card twice, and I got a new power supply unit. So literally the only thing left that I didn't change was the desktop. So I was like, this is unbelievable. What are the odds? So my idea was that I was like, well, if I can't figure it out, because it's been a long time and I haven't put up a video and it's been really stressful and totally an emotional ride, which kind of funny how that turned out to be, because I'm just trying to get the production back up and going. So I joked, and so I bought the secondary motherboard at Micro Center, which is basically an electronics store, kind of like Best Buy. And I went in basically joking, like with my head down, sunglasses on, and a hat on, so you couldn't tell who I was. And then I basically went to the technician and said, hey, I bought this motherboard here. Here's my entire desktop. Please just get it to post. So we got the computer on the counter, and so the lady there was running, basically checking all the components, and then was like, oh, your RAM stick is bad. It's not posting because of your RAM stick. And I was like, really? That's why it's not posting? I've spent 45 hours trying to get this thing to turn on. And so I asked her to do it like a check verification with different RAM. So they have test RAM they used. And she basically walked the RAM stick across the RAM slots. So there's 4 slots for your RAM, at least on this motherboard. And then we end up realizing, oh, it's actually your motherboard that is failing. Your RAM stick on RAM stick slot B2 was bad. And that's the first spot that the motherboard recommends putting your RAM to get you to post. So I didn't really think it was that. So again, I had to replace the motherboard for the 3rd time to get it out. And so I just got that done a couple days ago, and it actually posts. You can probably see right here. This is the back to normal operational system. Super happy, and I am very glad that it's up and running. And the reason why I upgraded was to actually reduce my video cycle time for YouTube, because I noticed when I was trying to load things online, it took me actually an hour and a half to go from I had a completed video, but to render it and then post it online took an hour and a half for a 20-minute video, 15-minute video. So then I was like, wow, if I keep doing 2 videos, 3 videos a week, that's a lot of waste of time just waiting for the video to render, and then it would always crash along the rendering process. So I was like, well, it's about time, to actually upgrade it, because I'm showing that I'm actually serious about making videos. And so I made that move, and it's it's kicked me out. It's like pushed out production for a YouTube video for over a week now from all the headache. But yeah, I'm so glad that's up and running. I hope you don't experience the same challenges that I've had of just building a desktop. Like I said, I've built over 5, so I'm pretty familiar with what's being done. It's just rather odd that I've had to replace the motherboard 3 times to get it up and running. So that's definitely a rare thing to happen. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you. So you're probably wondering like what it looks like, and I'll actually move this camera down there, and let's see, kind of show you guys what it looks like. Let me see, I might have to pause it. I'll leave it running and maybe delete it. Okay, so I actually keep the desktop down on the bottom where I sit. Okay. This is gonna be real shaky, guys. Like I said, it doesn't have a stabilization on this camera. Okay, so I actually use my I played alto saxophone in high school and a little bit in college, so I use this as a footrest now. So that just tells you how much I play. But yep, so this is what it looks like down there. You can see the little camera. There's me. Hey guys. Wow, so reflective. Anyways, you can mostly just see me, but it's working. I got stuff in there. Graphics card, lighting. I guess I can try opening it. So, oh man, it's gonna be really messy in there. Like very messy. Oh. Okay. The wires are messy, but okay, yeah. So it's up and running. There it is, guys. So I reused my graphics card. That is a GTX 970. I reused the liquid cooler, which is the NZXT X61 Kraken. It's a 240 rad, which I'm really liking. There's the radiators, the fans up there with the radiator up top. I got some solid state drives, Samsung A50 Evo, and then that's a really early edition Intel 520 series 180 gigabyte, bought like 6 years ago. It's been such a long time, but it works. And I got 32 gigs of RAM, so hopefully that helps with the video production. Keep it from actually crashing and whatnot. So, yep, the performance is super good. Had to put that back with 2 hands because it's kind of hard. It has screws. Okay. Get that back up there. Cool. Well, yep, so that's the build. Performance wise, at least I did some testing on games and it works super well. It's a lot faster, and so I'm so happy. And we should be up and running again for this YouTube channel. Back to videos again, at least 2 videos a week minimum. If you saw my production rate, that's kind of what I was putting out, 2 to 3 videos a week. And yeah, I'm excited, guys. I hope you guys are excited. If you have any questions or comments about my computer or how I'm liking it, just leave a comment below and we'll be back on track. Alright guys, well hopefully you did enjoy this video. My name is Michael. This is the Growth Mindset channel, and we are back up and running for 2020 with the updated rig. Thank you guys so much for watching the Growth Mindset channel, and I'll catch you guys all on the next one. Have a great day. Bye.